Welcome to this episode. Today we're diving into a fascinating and complex project led by Biotech International Institute LLC, or BII for short. It's a tribal-led medical biotechnology and addiction recovery infrastructure platform that's really pushing the boundaries of how we think about integrating public health, biotech innovation, and indigenous governance.
Yeah, it's quite a comprehensive initiative. BII is working on a research stage, patent-pending platform that combines regulated medical cannabis, biosynthetic cannabinoid innovation, precision peptide therapeutics, and public health programming. And all of this is wrapped up in a culturally respectful, legally compliant, and evidence-informed model. The initial project budget is capped at $10 million, phased over about 3 years.
Right, and what's compelling here is the core mission: supporting addiction recovery, community health, scientific validation, and indigenous economic development. It's not just about biotech or cannabis. It's about building infrastructure that respects tribal sovereignty and cultural safety while advancing cutting-edge science.
Exactly. And the operational model they're proposing is a hub-and-spoke system. The central facility acts as the clinical, compliance, data, training, and research coordination hub. Then, participating tribal health clinics serve as culturally grounded community access points. These clinics provide screening, referral, follow-up, and public health education. It's a way to extend reach while respecting community protocols and data ownership.
That hub-and-spoke analogy really helps clarify the structure. The central hub is like the brain of the operation, managing compliance and research, while the spokes are the tribal clinics embedded in the community, providing trusted, culturally safe care. It's a smart way to reduce barriers to access and build scalable infrastructure.
And governance is a key pillar here. They're establishing a tribal cannabis and health coalition that includes tribal nations, healthcare professionals, traditional healers, women, youth, veterans, and community advocates. This coalition oversees ethics, cultural safety, community benefit agreements, and data sovereignty. So indigenous leadership and oversight are baked into the model.
That's crucial, especially given the history of indigenous communities being marginalized in healthcare and research. Embedding governance that respects sovereignty and cultural protocols is not just ethical, but essential for trust and effectiveness.
Absolutely. Now, on the scientific front, BII is advancing 7 patent-pending platforms through the WIPO/PCT process. These include pharmaceutical biosynthetics like Neuroforol, which is a cannabinoid-inspired neuroactive platform, Mycoforol, a fungal-inspired neuroresilience platform, and NeuroReset, focused on post-dependency neural recovery.
Then there's the precision peptide therapeutics. NeuroRelief P for pain biology, NeuroRegen P for regenerative signaling, and NeuroReset P for neural stabilization and recovery. Plus, an agricultural biosynthetics platform called AgriShield X, which focuses on livestock protection and organic bioactives.
The patent strategy is quite disciplined. They're finalizing core WIPO/PCT filings first, prioritizing key jurisdictions like the US, Europe, UK, Canada, and Australia. Broader national phase entry is deferred to later stages, funded through licensing, grants, or investment. It's a pragmatic approach to balance IP protection with budget constraints and operational priorities.
That makes sense. Patent filings can get prohibitively expensive if you try to cover every jurisdiction up front. Staging the process allows them to protect core assets, while focusing resources on building the facility and programs.
Speaking of the facility, the project separates functions into 4 coordinated entities to manage regulatory complexity and risk. First, BII LLC handles science, IP, biosynthetics, peptides, and commercialization. Then there's the Tribal Cannabis Corporation, which manages licensed medical cannabis operations where legally permitted.
The third entity is the Recovery and Wellness Facility, responsible for addiction treatment, behavioral health, and public health services. And finally, the Tribal Cannabis and Health Coalition provides governance, ethics, cultural safety, and community benefit oversight. This separation reduces risk, improves investor clarity, and respects community trust.
Right, and the compliance framework spans federal, state, tribal, DEA, FDA, UK, and European regulations. Medical cannabis and biosynthetic THC products will only be distributed through licensed, medically supervised, and legally compliant pathways. No unsupported medical claims or premature treatment claims will be made.
That's a critical point. The project is very clear about not making any unsubstantiated claims, which is important given the regulatory scrutiny around cannabis and novel therapeutics. They're building a compliance-first model with rigorous healthcare licensing, cannabis compliance, DEA, FDA regulatory review, and data privacy protections.
And the financing model is equally thoughtful. The $10 million budget is divided into 3 phases. Phase 1, about $1.5 million, covers planning, legal work, IP finalization, tribal governance setup, financing readiness, and partnership development.
Phase 2, roughly $5.25 million, is for facility acquisition or build-out, compliance systems, pilot public health program launch, tribal clinic integration, staffing, and technology systems. Then Phase 3, about $3.25 million, focuses on expansion, patent finalization, biosynthetic and peptide validation planning, international partner onboarding, and commercial readiness.
The capital stack is diversified, which is smart. It includes community development financing through BMO, new markets tax credit structures, bank debt, tribal investment, impact capital, grants, and strategic partner contributions. This diversification reduces dependence on any single funding source.
And revenue streams are similarly diversified. Medical cannabis sales where legal, addiction treatment services, public health contracts, research grants, licensing royalties, and training programs. Plus, there's a reinvestment policy ensuring net proceeds support tribal healthcare, education, workforce development, and infrastructure.
That reinvestment aspect is vital. It ensures that the community benefits directly from the project's success, supporting sustainable development beyond just the initial facility.
On the public health and cultural safety front, the project prioritizes culturally safe addiction recovery services tailored to indigenous and underserved populations. Free or low-cost addiction support services will be offered where funding permits, emphasizing harm reduction, peer support, and recovery navigation.
Tribal health clinics act as trusted access points, integrating traditional healing and respecting cultural protocols. Data sovereignty is a core principle. Communities retain ownership and control over health data. That's a significant commitment to indigenous rights and privacy.
Community benefit agreements formalize revenue sharing, local hiring, workforce training, and reinvestment into health, education, and infrastructure. Plus, public health outcomes will be tracked and anonymized data published to demonstrate impact and support continuous improvement.
It's a comprehensive approach that balances innovation with respect for culture and community. Now, on partnerships, BII is actively seeking collaborations with established addiction treatment providers, notably a San Francisco Addiction Treatment Center.
They're looking for clinical guidance, model replication, staff training, outcomes tracking, and joint grant opportunities. Beyond that, university, contract research organization, public health agency, and tribal health program partnerships are planned to support validation, research, and clinical integration.
International medical cannabis partnerships will be pursued only through licensed and approved channels, which aligns with their compliance-first stance.
Risk management is well thought out too. Regulatory risk is mitigated through specialized legal counsel, staged approvals, licensed partners, and audit workflows. Clinical risk is managed by medical supervision, ethics review, adverse event reporting, and avoidance of cure claims.
Cultural risk is addressed via free, prior, and informed consent, tribal governance, cultural safety training, and equitable benefit distribution. Financial risk is controlled through phased spending, contingency reserves, diversified funding, and a strict $10 million budget cap.
And IP risk is managed by prioritizing core patent families, staged jurisdictional entry, and preparing continuation strategies. Overall, the approach is compliance-first, ethical, and community-centered.
So, Liam, what do you think is the most innovative aspect of this project?
I'd say it's the integration of tribal governance with advanced biotech platforms and a public health infrastructure. The way they're combining medical cannabis, biosynthetic cannabinoids, peptide therapeutics, and addiction recovery services under a culturally safe, legally compliant framework is quite unique. It's not just a healthcare project. It's a platform for indigenous economic development and scientific innovation.
I agree. And the hub and spoke model really stands out as a scalable way to extend care while respecting tribal sovereignty and data ownership. It's a model that could be replicated in other regions and adapted for different health challenges.
Plus, the staged patent and regulatory strategy shows a pragmatic understanding of the complexities involved. They're protecting their IP without overextending financially, while simultaneously building the operational foundation.
And the separation of entities to manage regulatory risk and build investor confidence is smart. It clarifies roles, reduces risk, and respects community trust. That's often overlooked in projects that combine healthcare and cannabis.
Definitely. The cultural safety and data sovereignty elements are also critical differentiators. Many indigenous health initiatives struggle with these issues, but BII is embedding them at the core.
The financing mix is also interesting, blending community development financing, tax credits, impact investment, and traditional debt. It aligns well with current trends in impact investing and community-focused capital.
So to wrap up, BII's project represents a novel integration of tribal governance, medical biotechnology, addiction recovery infrastructure, and public health programming. It's a complex but well-structured initiative with potential for significant community impact and long-term commercialization.
Yeah, it's a model that balances innovation with respect for culture and compliance. If successful, it could serve as a blueprint for future tribal-led health infrastructure and biotech commercialization projects.
Thanks for exploring this with me. It's been a deep dive into a really sophisticated and promising project.
Absolutely, looking forward to seeing how it develops. Thanks for listening.